Hi there! Welcome to tkinter. This is Joshua and I'm going to introduce you how to program a countdown timer in Python. Before we jump into the video, please subscribe and click the notification bell to receive future videos from my channel. If you haven't already watched my previous video about programming an alarm clock, I put a link in the description box below so you can watch the video. Now I'm going to introduce you how to program the countdown timer. For this program, you don't need to install anything with the pip command, but you need a sound file in WAV format. If you have a sound file in any other format, then you can use the application Audacity or the online converter CONVERTIO. I put a link in the description box below, and below that I put instructions on how to use CONVERTIO. Let's open Python from the Windows Programs list. Click Start, Python, and then ideally Python. Let's open a new file to start programming. File menu, new file. Let's close the shell, and let's maximize the Python programming window. Now let me make the screen bigger so you can see better. Before we start programming the timer, let me show you the final result. Here you can see a window with a label at the top which says enter the time in seconds, and there's a text box which we can type in. We're meant to type the amount of seconds, and below that you can see a start, stop and reset button. So let's type a 20-second timer and let's start it. Start timer. Here you can see that the timer is going down. Now let's stop it. You can see that the time stopped going down. Now let's reset it. You can see that it has gone back to the previous state. Now I'm going to set a timer for 1 second. Let's see what happens. Start timer. Now you can hear the sound. And now it has stopped. So let's close this, and let's close the shell. Now that I've shown you the final result, let's start programming it. In this program, there are 3 steps. Step 1. Importing the modules. In this program, we're going to be using the tkinter module, the datetime module, and the winsound module. To use them, we have to import them first. Type import tkinter. Now tkinter is a long word to type, so let's shorten it to tk. Type as tk. Enter. Now let's import datetime. Import datetime. Make sure datetime is one word. Enter. Import winsound. Now winsound is a long word, so let's shorten it to ws. Type as ws. Enter, enter. Now we've completed step 1. Step 2. Creating a countdown class. So a class is basically a blueprint for a character or an object. It is similar to a function. So let's create one. To create one, we have to type class and then the name of it, which is in this case countdown. And then open brackets. We're going to create a screen, a frame. Type tk.F frame, close brackets, colon, enter. Now we've created the countdown class. Now we just need to fill out its functions. So first of all, I'm going to define everything that's on the screen. So let's bring everything up. Type define. Instead of typing define, we type def space underscore underscore init underscore underscore open brackets self, comma master, close brackets, colon, enter. So we're defining the screen items. Now we're going to get everything on the screen. Type super, open brackets, close brackets, dot underscore underscore init, underscore underscore open brackets master, close brackets, enter. Self dot create underscore widgets, open brackets, close brackets, enter. So here we've created the basic background of the screen, and here we've actually created the widgets. This is a function that we're going to create later. Now let's show the widgets. Self.show underscore widgets, open brackets, close brackets. Show widgets is also another function that we're going to create later on. Enter. Now let's put the seconds left to 0 so it doesn't count down. Self.seconds underscore left equals 0. Enter. Now I'm going to set the timer on to false so it doesn't turn on. Self dot underscore timer underscore on equals capital F false. Enter, enter, backspace. Define show underscore widgets, open brackets self, close brackets, colon, enter. We're going to show all the widgets, the buttons and everything. So do self.label.pack, open brackets, close brackets, enter. Self.entry.pack, open brackets, close brackets, enter. Self.start.pack, open brackets, close brackets, enter. Self.stop.pack, open brackets, close brackets, enter. Self.reset.pack, open brackets, close brackets. Now all these lines are just basically creating each and every part of the screen. So this label in the first line is the writing at the top, and the entry is basically the text box that we type in, the one where we can type anything in. And the start is basically the start button, the stop is the stop button, and reset is the reset button. So now we've shown them, but we haven't actually created them. So let's create them. Press enter, enter, backspace. Now let's define a function. It's going to be called define create underscore widgets, open brackets self, close brackets, colon, enter. Self dot label equals tk dot capital L label, open brackets self, comma text equals open quotation marks. So this is the text at the top. So if you can replace what I'm going to type, everything that's in green, type your text, and then type close quotation marks and then close brackets. So this is the text that appears at the top. Now let's do the text box. Enter. Self.entry equals tk dot capital E entry, open brackets self, comma justify equals open quotation marks center, close quotation marks, close brackets. So the justify equals open quotation marks center is basically when we type, which side should it type from, left, center or right. If you wanted left or right, then you can replace center with those. Enter. Now let's set the focus on enter. So what that means is basically we want to work with it, so we want to make it ready for that. Let's make it ready. Self.entry.focus underscore set, open brackets, close brackets, enter. Now let's do the reset button. Self.reset equals tk.capital B button, open brackets, self, comma, text equals, open quotation marks, reset timer, close quotation marks, comma, enter, command equals self.reset underscore button, close brackets. So we're saying when it's pressed, we should reset it. That's what command equals self.reset underscore button does. And text equals open quotation marks, reset timer, close quotation marks, puts the text inside the button. So right now the text inside the button is reset timer. We can change it if we want. Same goes with stop and start. So let's create them. Self.stop equals tk.capital B button, open brackets, self, comma, text equals, open quotation marks, stop timer, close quotation marks, comma, enter, command equals self.stop underscore button, close brackets, enter, self.start equals tk.capital B button, open brackets, self, comma, text equals, open quotation marks, start timer, close quotation marks, comma, enter, command equals self.start underscore button, close brackets, enter, enter, backspace. Now we've created the widgets and we've shown them as well. Now let's do the countdown. Define countdown, open brackets, self, close brackets, colon, enter. Make sure countdown here has a small letter C because we made the class called countdown with a capital letter C, so keep it small letter C. Define countdown self, colon. Now we're going to do self.label, open square brackets, open quotation marks, text, close quotation marks, close square brackets, equals self.convert underscore seconds underscore left underscore to underscore time, open brackets, close brackets. So convert seconds left to time is the function that we're going to create later, and we're basically saying the label should read, the text inside the label should be the seconds left to time. So press enter, enter. Now we're actually going to count down. So if there are any seconds left, so if self.seconds underscore left, colon, enter, self.seconds underscore left, minus equals 1. So what this command does is it takes away 1 from the actual time. And it repeatedly does that because we said if there are any seconds left, then the seconds left should go down by 1. Enter. Self dot underscore timer underscore on equals self dot after, open brackets, 1 second. Instead of typing that, we type 1000, comma, self dot countdown, close brackets. So what this command does, it says the timer will turn on after we press the start button, but after we press the start button, it will wait 1 second. If you don't want it to wait, just type 0. But I want it to wait 1 second, so type 1000 and type comma, and then the self.countdown is what it's going to do. So it's going to do this function up here, which we're working on. Now let's continue. Enter, backspace, else, colon, enter, self._timer_on equals capital F false, enter. So we're saying the timer should be off if there are no seconds left. And we're also going to play the sound, ws dot capital P play, capital S sound. Make sure play sound is one word, then do open brackets, open quotation marks, the name of your sound file, so basically the sound of the alarm. So I called it alarm clock sound. So if your file name is different to this, then change alarm clock sound to it. And then do close quotation marks, comma, ws dot, all capitals, snd, underscore, file name. Close brackets, enter. Now we've played the sound, and we've turned the timer off. But that's only if there are no seconds left. Press enter, backspace, backspace. Now let's define reset button. We mentioned it while doing create underscore widget up here. So let's define it. Define reset underscore button, open brackets, self, close brackets, colon, enter. Then I want the seconds left to 0. Self dot seconds underscore left equals 0. Enter. Now I want to stop the timer. Self dot stop underscore timer. Open brackets, close brackets. Enter. Now I'm going to turn off the timer. Self dot underscore timer underscore on equals capital F false. So let me show you the steps. So we're setting the seconds left straight back to 0, and then we're going to stop the timer so it doesn't count down to -1 or anything. Then we're going to turn off the timer so it doesn't make a beeping sound after it, and then press enter. Now we need to type the text at the top again. Type self.label, open square brackets, open quotation marks, text, close quotation marks, close square brackets, equals, open quotation marks, your other message. Mine is enter the time in seconds. Close quotation marks, enter. Now we've reset the label at the top, so we've removed the time and we've replaced it with our message, which in my case is enter the time in seconds. Then we have to type the rest. Now we're just going to replace all the buttons, so type self.start.forget, open brackets, close brackets, self.stop.forget, open brackets, close brackets, enter self.reset.forget, open brackets, close brackets, enter. So these 3 commands saying .forget are basically just removing the buttons from the whole program. Then we're going to replace them. Self.start.pack, open brackets, close brackets, enter. Now let's pack the stop and the reset buttons. Self.stop.pack, open brackets, close brackets, enter, self.reset.pack, open brackets, close brackets, enter, backspace. Now we've defined reset. Now let's define stop. Define, space, stop underscore button. Open bracket, self, close brackets, colon, enter, self.seconds underscore left equals integer. Instead of typing integer, we type int, open brackets, self.entry.get, open brackets, close brackets again. So in this command, we're saying the seconds left is basically what we typed in the entry, the box, and what int does, it makes it an integer, a number, so we can work with it as a number, not just another object. Now let's do self.stop underscore timer, open brackets, close brackets, enter, backspace. Now let's move on to the start button. Define, start underscore button, open brackets, self, close brackets, colon, enter, self.seconds underscore left equals int, open brackets, self.entry.get, open brackets, close brackets again, enter, self.stop timer, open brackets, close brackets, enter. Now we need to do the countdown, so it counts down when we click it. Self.countdown, open brackets, close brackets, enter. Now let's replace all the buttons. Self.start .forget, open brackets, close brackets, self.stop.forget, open brackets, close brackets, self.reset.forget, open brackets, close brackets, enter. Now let's replace them. Type self.start.pack, open brackets, close brackets, self.stop.pack, open brackets, close brackets, enter, self.reset.pack, open brackets, close brackets, enter, backspace. Now we've created all the buttons, we can create the function called stop timer, because we used it a couple of times in the buttons here. So let's define it. Define, space, stop underscore timer, open brackets, self, close brackets, colon, enter. So type if self dot underscore timer underscore on, colon, enter. So what this first line says is if the timer is on, then we should do something. We're going to give it a function. Self dot after underscore cancel, open brackets, self dot underscore timer underscore on, close brackets, enter, and then type self dot underscore timer underscore on equals capital F false. So last line here, we're turning it off, enter, backspace. Now we've created stop timer. Now let's create the next function. Define, space. Now let's do the other function, which is called convert seconds left to time. Convert underscore seconds underscore left underscore to underscore time, open brackets, self, close brackets, colon, enter. return space datetime dot time delta. Make sure datetime is one word and time delta is another word. And then do open brackets, seconds equals self dot seconds underscore left. Close brackets, enter, enter, backspace. Now we've created all the functions for this class. Now we're going to move on to the next step. Step 3. Creating the main loop. If underscore underscore name underscore underscore equals equals open quotation mark underscore underscore main underscore underscore close quotation marks colon enter, root equals tk dot capital TK open brackets close brackets. So here's the actual screen. It's called root. Enter. Now I'm going to make it non-resizable, so we can't adjust its height or width. So root dot resizable open brackets capital F false comma capital F false close brackets. So the first false is for the x coordinate, so you can't stretch its width and you can't stretch its height. That's what the second one is for. Enter, enter. I'm going to define countdown. Countdown is going to be small letter c equals, it's going to be the other class that we created up here. It's called class countdown. So let's go down. Countdown equals capital C countdown open brackets, and this countdown was actually meant to be on the screen, which is called root, as I did here. So type root, close brackets, enter. Now we've created a variable called countdown, which contains the countdown and the root joined together. Now let's put it into the program. Type countdown dot pack open brackets close brackets, enter, enter, root dot main loop open brackets close brackets. Make sure main loop is one word, and the command root dot main loop open brackets close brackets is to keep the screen open, and the countdown dot pack is basically making the countdown go into the screen. Now let's save this. File menu, save. I'm going to save it in my dedicated folder for any programs like this. If you have a similar folder to this, go inside of it, and then I'm going to create another folder called countdown timer because I have multiple files to save. Click on new folder if you need one and type countdown folder. So this is what my folder is going to be called. Double click on it to go inside of it, and I'm going to call this program countdown timer as well. Let's click on save. Now before we run this, we have to put the sound file in the same folder as this program. So let's do that by clicking on the search bar and typing in File Explorer. And then click on File Explorer. Then navigate to your sound file. Here you can see my sound file. It's called Alarm Clock Sound. So let's select it. Click on the checkbox and then go to the Home menu and go to the Clipboard tab and click on Copy. Now it's copied. Now we need to just paste it at the Python programs folder. So the same folder as the program. Go to this PC, and then go to the C drive. Then go to users. Then go to your account name. Then you will see a bunch of folders and everything inside your computer. Go to the view menu and go to the show hide tab and check hidden item. When it's checked, you will see a new folder called app data. Double click on it to open it. And then click on local. Scroll down and you will see a folder called programs. Double click on it. And then click on Python. Then double click on Python again. Then save it here if you don't have a dedicated folder for all these programs. But if you do, like me, then go into them and then go into your countdown and then paste it there by going to the home menu and into the clipboard tab and clicking on paste. Here you see my alarm clock sound is back. Now let's close this. And this. And when we're back at our program, we can run this. So go to the run menu, then click on run module. I'm going to set a timer for 1 second. Let's see what happens. Here you heard the sound, and now it's gone back to 00. Let's reset it. You can see that it has gone back to the previous state. Now let's set one for 20 seconds, and then click on start timer. You can see that it is counting down, and let's stop it. It's stopped. Now let's reset it. It's gone back to the start. Let's close this, and let's close the shell, and now let's close the countdown timer. In my future videos, I'll be posting tutorials to make weather apps and games. I hope that this video is helpful for you. If you like this video, please smash that like button and share it to your friends and family. If you have any questions or comments about this video, or if you'd like to get links for all of my previous videos, please contact me via email at tkinter@gmail.com. I put a link in the description box below so you can watch the video. See you in the next video!